In the Indian Himalayas, nestled in these serene, temple-filled villages, faith and folklore aren't just stories, they're woven right into the fabric of everyday life. But today, we're going to pull at one of those threads and unravel a family secret that absolutely refused to stay buried. So let's get right into it, because this isn't just some simple folktale you'd hear around a fire. No, this is a chilling account that really blurs the line between a tragic accident, a horrifying crime, and, well, something else entirely. At the heart of our story is a man named Gagan. He's a soldier living in Delhi with his wife, Madhu, and their two little girls. But when his father gets really sick, Gagan moves the whole family back to his hometown in the mountains to take care of him. They were probably expecting a much simpler, quieter life. But what they found was anything but. Okay, so here's the official story. One rainy morning, Gagan's mother and his pregnant wife, Madhu, they head out for their daily temple visit. Now, you have to picture these mountain paths. They are basically just packed earth, and with the rain, they've turned into total mudslides. The story goes that one of them slipped, grabbed the other for support, and in a terrible, tragic moment, both of them fell from a cliff. Awful, right? But it's plausible. It's ruled a horrible accident that claimed 3 lives, the 2 women and Madhu's unborn child. But here's where the story starts to get strange. As the villagers are helping recover the bodies, they notice something on Madhu that just doesn't quite fit. There are these really distinct injury marks on the right side of her chest, almost like she'd been stabbed or pierced. People kind of shrugged it off, thinking maybe an animal got to her, a jackal or something. But the detail was just unsettling. It was the very first crack in what seemed like a simple, tragic story. After this horrible event, Gagan is understandably shattered. He even quits the army so he can stay home and care for his 2 daughters. But that grief, it started to twist into something ugly. Resentment, bitterness, he became abusive. And as this darkness grew inside the house, it seems it found a new place to live. His elder daughter. She was only 11 years old, and she just started to change. Her body became strangely disfigured. She'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night. She started harming herself and would just stare at a wall for hours on end, completely vacant. And then came the most chilling detail of all. A wound, an actual physical wound, appeared on the right side of her chest, in the exact same spot as her mother's. Gagan is, of course, terrified. He's at his wit's end. So he takes his daughter to the village priest, desperate for any kind of answer. The priest starts his rituals, but the second he looks into that little girl's eyes, he recoils in absolute sheer terror. He just says one word, Masan. Now, in this region's folklore, a Masan is not just any old ghost. It's a powerful, often dangerous spirit that takes over a body for a very specific reason. And here's the key part. It will not leave until its goal is accomplished. The priest, recognizing this ancient and powerful force, was so scared that he literally ran away. Well, word spreads like wildfire, and soon, villagers are gathered at the house. The priest, maybe feeling guilty or just drawn by the commotion, he comes back. And amidst all the chaos, he notices something. Gagan's younger daughter, who's only 10. She's desperately trying to get his attention, but every single time she goes to speak, she glances at her father and just clams up, frozen with fear. The priest finally manages to get the girl by herself, and the real story starts to pour out. She tells him her father never even wanted to move back to the village. The real reason? Greed. He wanted his father's land. But when his father left most of it to Gagan's older brother, Shushil, he was consumed with rage. And then the little girl whispers the 4 words that blow this whole thing wide open. My mother was murdered. Hearing this, the villagers immediately grab Gagan and hold him there. The priest, now finally understanding what he's up against, goes back to the possessed elder daughter. He starts the exorcism again, but this time it's not just about freeing the girl. It's about forcing the spirit to reveal its purpose, to speak the whole horrifying truth for everyone to hear. And in that moment, it all became crystal clear. This wasn't some random evil Masan. The spirit inside that little girl was the ghost of her own mother, Madhu. She had come back to expose a terrible lie and to get justice for her own murder. So through his own daughter's lips, the full confession came out. On that rainy morning, Gagan had met his wife and mother on that slippery path. He was furious that Madhu might be pregnant with another girl, and they started to argue. When his own mother tried to step in, he just shoved her off the cliff. Madhu started screaming that she would tell everyone what he did, so he pulled out a knife, stabbed her in the chest, and then pushed her over the edge too. The second the spirit finished speaking, you can just imagine the chaos. The villagers turned on Gagan, and in all the confusion, he saw a chance to escape. He just took off, running into the mountains. And what happens next? Well, it unfolds pretty fast. As he's running away, in this moment of what you can only call cosmic justice, Gagan slips and falls on the very same muddy path where he murdered his family. He wasn't killed, but he was hurt badly enough that the villagers caught up to him and handed him right over to the police. A few months later, his brother Sushil got full custody of the two girls, finally getting them to a safe place. And that really brings us to the biggest question of this entire story, doesn't it? Was this really a mother's ghost, a powerful Masan, returning for justice, just like the folklore says? Or could it be something else? Could it be the profound, unbelievable trauma of a little girl who saw something so horrible, her mind and body had to find a way to make people listen, a way to give her trauma a voice that no one could ignore? I'll leave that one for you to decide.